All right. Well, welcome back to What's My Truth podcast. Today, we're going to dive into the truth that we've both really lived by in these most recent years of being the creator of our own lives and what that's meant for us, kind of where we first learned it, and how it's really altered our perception of going through and giving ourselves the responsibility for all activities, all environments, all situations, all conversations, thoughts, and emotions, and decisions of our lives, being that we create it regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, when I first learned about being the creator of your own life, personally, I found it a very difficult shift to adapt because I couldn't fathom that I had created that I had any responsibility in the life that I was experiencing and had experienced through the years. I just thought that life was happening to me, and that that's just how life goes, and you handle it, and whatever happens, but you have no control over it. And yeah, it's a really big shift for me in adapting it
Yeah.
and living by it with full understanding.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I'm responsible for every single choice I've ever made and will ever make.
Mm-hmm.
And every situation that I am in is because I chose to be in that situation. I chose to be in that environment. I chose to be in that experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't just happen randomly.
Whether it was conscious or unconscious.
Right. Whatever your subconscious is programmed with will show up in your conscious without you really having the awareness of it.
Yeah. So was there any time or moment where you could pinpoint like where that understanding really started being apparent?
It was probably I guess my initial knowledge of the idea was late 2024, and then actually knowing it to be true and looking at my life and giving myself the responsibility for my life was in the last year.
Yeah.
Of 25, 26.
2025.
2025, 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
In 2023, I had a moment where my auntie helped me gain a perspective of, and this is what she said, well, what if it didn't happen to you, but happened for you?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
How could these situations have happened for me? No, they happened to me.
Yeah.
And but learning that and having her speak that over me and for me and to me was just like, okay. From that point on, I started reflecting and wondering, well, how did this happen for me? And she gave me the framework of just start with one thing and list 100 things that came came out of it. So if a loved one passed, what came out of that loved one passing that really helped you move on in life? And what lessons did it teach you? And what was it there for you to learn? It was like beginning that process. And during those times in 2023, that summer, it was slow. So I had a very small list of things. I'm like, oh, well, this happened for me. And I found it really hard. And even simply changing the language, this happened for me.
Language is huge,
huge
in the creation of your life.
Yeah. So I would say when she spoke that for me, and it gave me the first tool of accepting responsibility in it. It's accepting that I have a part in that too.
Yeah.
And that plus registering that we choose our parents before we come down. Like it is already decided.
Yeah. And
you chose your parents for a reason. And whatever upbringing you had, within it are the lessons for you.
Yeah. The exact things that you need to learn to create, or the exact things that you need to create the catalyst so that you can learn everything that you need to then become the person that you have the most potential to become. Your highest self.
Yeah. So adapting the for you was a really big, this is happening for me. So if this is happening for me, what can I learn of it? Which has really been empowering, especially through moments of trial, through the big tests. Instead of casting blame outwards on other people or the situation or, previous experiences, it's like, okay, this is coming up again. Obviously there's something for me to learn in here.
Right.
So let me accept it, process it, feel the feelings, hear the thoughts, and the end result will accumulate to something being for me and me learning from it.
Yeah, and to add to that, like, I remember back in 2024, when we were in Uppsala the first summer, and even sometime after that, having the idea in my head that whatever you were going through was for you to figure out, and whatever I was going through was for me to figure out, and that they were mutually exclusive, which is not true to me, because it's if something is coming up for you and it's showing you something and there's something for you to learn in it, it's also probably something that there's for me to learn in it as well.
Yeah, because we co-created together.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that was definitely huge. I remember in that summer, like sitting down and being like, okay, this is what's happening for me. Can you tell me anything that's happening for you? And I remember it feel like pulling your teeth out.
Yeah, like, nope, I'm good. Everything's fine. I'm having fun.
it's not. It's not. We're not okay. Like,
no.
And I could pinpoint like this is what's happening, and I noticed this is what happened, and this is how I felt about it. And I'm trying to learn, well, how can I, show up better or understand better, and what is it that's here for me to learn? But I couldn't learn it in the fullest degree as how I felt without hearing your side of what you were going through, right? And realizing like, yeah, okay, I was creating this situation, but I wasn't creating it alone. So I can only solve half of the equation of the situation. So So if I solved half the equation, well, the situation was still happening because you hadn't solved your other half.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would reappear right here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd have more teeth pulling conversations for hours until we could figure out, like, okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Now we broke through. Now you're telling me what you're feeling and
Yeah.
what that was bringing up.
But it
for
was
you.
still like, you would ask me what I was feeling, and it would be like 20 minutes of me
silence.
of silence, and you're like, James, and you'd repeat the question, and I'd be like, and then another 10 minutes of silence.
Yeah.
Which, like what we talked about yesterday, was just like I wasn't honest with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid of what the truth was,
Mm-hmm.
and afraid to admit it to myself.
Yeah.
And so then very afraid to admit anything to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd also kind of created the perception that like a man doesn't open up emotionally to a woman because then she'll use it as ammo and leave him and ruin his life. And
Yeah.
it's like, well,
Women are emotional beings.
yeah, it's not reality.
Yeah.
If you're actually two people who are really in love and honest with each other and committed to
Mm-hmm.
each other,
Yeah.
the truth is only going to set you free
Yeah. Within it.
within the relationship.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, not free from the relationship.
But you're totally free from the relationship if you so choose.
Right. I choose you. I choose
you.
us. Yeah.
Though we created those situations,
Mm-hmm.
and they really, for me, was teaching me like communication is really big. And that summer, we created it so that we could work through communication,
Yeah.
which was super, super important.
Yeah,
for
it
us.
wouldn't have been possible otherwise
Mhm.
if you had been working or I had been working
Yeah,
and not working together.
yeah.
We
Figuring that
wouldn't
out.
have had the time and space.
To sit down for those hours of
Yeah. To
conversation.
to have breakfast at 9 or 10 or 11 in the morning and sit at the table for
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like 2, 3, 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not 4, but 2 or 3 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and just trying to talk,
Yeah.
trying to figure something out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But going through all of that,
Which was a few months. It was like 3 to 4 months.
well, I'm talking like till to now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, now we can talk about our feelings in a moment, a few seconds after the moment, and I'm able to communicate what I felt
Mm-hmm.
because I've created the awareness of what my feelings are, and I can identify them and I can communicate them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
And pinpoint
pinpoint,
where they were being created out of.
right, pinpoint the part of my body that I felt a certain thing in
Mm-hmm.
that I have identified as anxiety
Mm-hmm.
or grief
Yeah.
or heartache is a little more obvious than those two, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And then create it. You know you're creating it. You know that it's not just coming out of nowhere.
right,
That it stems from somewhere.
right.
And it's there for you.
Mm.
Another big one was that I learned from you was get. I get to do something.
Oh yeah.
That was really,
Yeah.
really huge to
As
incorporate to my
soon
language.
as I heard that, I just
I
ran with it.
I know.
well,
I remember like communicating with you, and I knew the moment I said, "You have to go and do this." it wouldn't get through.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work. And I would think about it before I would like talk with you
Yeah.
and express something to you, and I would intentionally say, well, you get to go and do this because of this, and because I was aware that saying have to just wasn't in your vocabulary, and the moment I said you have to do something, it was like full stop, kick in the ground. No, I don't have to do that.
Yeah, I don't have to do anything.
And there was like, okay,
I get to do things.
yes.
And even like my nephew wants me to pick him up and swing him around. Uncle, you have to. No, I don't.
No, it just does not.
It's just
work.
straight up. No, I don't. I'm not gonna do that. I don't have to do anything. I will if I want to. Straight up to a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Like I was so unhinged with that
Yeah.
for a while. Rightfully so. Like it's so true.
Yeah, it is true. You don't have to do anything. You do get to do things.
Yeah.
And then it's
You get to choose.
you do get to choose. And then if you go, I feel like if you go so far into like, well, I don't have to do nothing, you could go to the extreme of like, yeah, I could just lay on this couch and do nothing. And I could just completely throw every opportunity away, throw every potential away, because I don't have to do that. And you could go down the road of really just putting yourself in some form of engagement.
Yeah.
Rather than like, no, I get to do this because I want this outcome.
Right. Which that's like, if you've recognized the truth without also recognizing your potential for your life, you might be an idiot. You know, like if you can recognize, oh, I don't have to do anything, I get to do things. So because I don't have to do anything, I'm going to sit on this couch and play video games all day and smoke weed and self-sabotage my entire life. No, nobody who realizes that. I feel like maybe nobody. Most people
Well, that depends, because
that
you might have
might
realized
realize that.
and then still chose to do otherwise because it felt harder to do the thing that you get to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
Because you go through and you fall back sometimes, and
That is
you
fair.
trip over old habits and old
That is
patterns, and you know, a lesson sometimes requires a lot more time than just once to be taught it.
Yeah.
You know, we learned that very much for many ways,
Oh, this again.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, this again.
Okay, I'll retract my statement. I guess the point of it was like to realize that truth of I get to inspired me to expand the ideas of my potential. My ideas of my potential in 2022 was living out of the back of a 30-year-old SUV, being a dirtbag, rock climbing, sleeping next to my dog, and picking through the scraps for food. That's like what I want. That's what I would have preferred to do at 22 than have a full-time job in an apartment.
Yeah.
And I was kind of upset with myself for getting a full-time job in an apartment
Yeah.
instead of going out to
The boonies.
the boonies.
Yeah. Well, we did it. Don't worry.
Yeah, no,
We made that happen.
We
you
sure did.
wanted it, and we made it happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you created it,
Yeah.
and you got to experience. You lived out that dream. You lived out that potential. And
You got to
realized-
live out the potential of living in a tent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I mean, that was not how I wanted to live
No,
for 10
we were planning to have my family's like 9-person tent with a giant tarp over it.
Yeah,
and
I wanted to have a
canopy in the
luxurious
front,
tree
and go
planting.
tree planting and have all our gear and everything nice and fairy lights and just a nice
Comfortable bed, not just the
air mattress to
floor
come
of the
back
earth.
to. after planting thousands of trees
And rest.
and rest.
Yeah.
And then that didn't
That
happen.
Yeah.
But it still happened in a different way.
Still lived in a tent on that Air Mattress with fairy lights.
Yeah. Except we were doing doors.
Doors, there's
I
different.
was running Yorty doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to make some money.
Yeah. It was also, it's really interesting to have their perception on life that I created, because it gives you so much responsibility.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I am living in a tent and I'm creating this right now. So
Right.
what decisions am I making that is creating this? What is withholding? And then it even got even deeper. If it didn't change for months, and the question became like, am I supposed to be here? Because I want a house and I want somewhere to live with a roof and have my own kitchen and bathroom and bedroom, all in the same space. That is all mine.
That reminds me, that was like a big thing for
It was
a
huge.
while.
Yeah, it's huge.
Was like having a kitchen and a bathroom and a bedroom all in the same space.
Yeah, it's all I
because
wanted.
for like a year
We were
we
going to other people's
slept
showers.
here, we showered here, we cooked here.
We did everything in different places.
Yeah.
We got water from this place, we showered at that place, we did our laundry here, and then we cooked over here, and then we slept in this place. Like, we were always jumping, so.
Nomads.
Yeah, yeah, little gypsy.
It's funny because I've heard people like refer to us as nomadic up here, having an apartment here and a house up there.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't even know.
That was really interesting though, like kind of transitioning out of a tent into the little ice shack again, and just staying at Auntie's for a week, to living in a house. And I remember, or in the office at the time, because it was just a house renovated, it was an office renovated into our house. And I remember like getting moved into the office and feeling weird, because previous to that, I was like asking myself, like, why have I not been able to give myself a house? Where do I feel unworthy to have a house? Do I have a belief within me that I believe that I'm not deserving of a house to live in because of the lifestyle that I've been living for so long, you know? And it was like, well, I never wanted to put down any roots. I didn't want to be there. I wanted
to be stuck in Upsala.
To be stuck in Upsala. I didn't want to be, I wanted to just be able to up and leave whenever and have that kind of idea of freedom. And so getting into a space where I had everything that I had been wanting for the last few months, specifically once I got pregnant. Like, once I got pregnant, it was like, I gotta put roots in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready. Because it's not just me anymore.
It's gonna happen,
It's
wherever
I'm gonna have this baby.
Yeah.
So getting into the house or the office was really strange, because it's like, oh wow, I guess I've become the person who deserves a house now. And I've allowed it into my realm of creation. And yeah, it was weird.
I remember that.
And I talked to you about it.
It was also just weird being in like an old police station.
Yeah.
Because once we moved into the cabin,
Into the house.
into the actual like residence,
But even that felt a little weird, because there was like another little upgrade.
it felt less weird to me though.
Yeah.
Like I noticed the oddity of living in the police station turned into hunter's cabin.
Yeah. It was like, wow, we have so much space.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the things to fill the space.
Yeah.
And we didn't even use 2 of the bedrooms the first time. It was like, we only need this 1 bedroom.
Right.
We just close these ones. We don't need that space.
Right.
And well, we have a few bins to put in the basement, but like, we don't use it. And you know, we just had such little stuff, and we were so. I know I felt so used to living small and minimalistic, which is a way of life that I enjoy living still. And in a small, close quarter. And I was like, I wasn't sure how to fill the space.
Yeah. Well, we were in a camper, or we were in the
Well, first of all, we lived in Washington and we had one room. That
right.
was just our room,
Right,
and then we
right.
shared the other part of the house.
Yeah, and then we were in the ice fishing shack or the cabin,
The cabin.
and then we were in the camper, and then we went to Texas.
You went to Texas and I went to Quebec.
Yeah, but then where we were living together next was in a
Tiny home, and then in
tiny Airbnb, and then a hotel room, and then a tent. Because my car broke down, and I was like, "Hey, Mom and Dad, help me, please."
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, being able to create that, and then now that we moved back into the house, it's like, yeah, I know exactly how I want to set this up. I've been thinking about getting back in this house, and I know how I want to set it up. I know how I want to I know what room is going to be used. This room's going to be used for any guests. This one's going to be the office and the closet, and this is the one we're going to sleep in. And really started to learn how to make a home. And now here, it's like we know how to make a home, and it's only our space, and we know we're going to be in it for long term, for the foreseeable future, obviously.
Yeah.
And
At least the next 11 months.
Yeah. So becoming the people who can create.
Or I guess it's like 9.
It's 9 months now, because we're 8 months.
But sorry to.
Yeah.
I was just going to continue on with like the space. Like, I remember seeing the pictures of this apartment with the previous tenant living in it, and they had stuff on the walls, and they had hanging things, and they had this and that, and stuff in the laundry room on the walls, and organizers, and all sorts of stuff. And like, I'll be cleaning up or going in the laundry room or doing whatever, and I'm like, we still have like nothing.
Very minimal.
We have a couch, we have a desk, we have a whiteboard, a yoga mat, some toys, a couple paintings on the wall.
That are ours. No, very
and a trash
minimalist.
can.
Because it's easy to tidy.
Yes.
And you can have space to do things. And I remember speaking with you very early of like, we want it to be a living space. We want it to feel lively.
Yeah.
We want to be able to yoga and stretch and dance and play, like, and move without having to jumble in over things.
Don't want a giant L couch and a recliner.
Yeah, you can't do much of
Cramping
that.
on the space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the environment we wanted to create. Right. And I know that when I am working on creating something, having a clean space allows me to have a clean mind, a clear mind that allows for the creativity to flow.
Right.
When it's cluttered and messy, my mind is cluttered and messy. And I've noticed it when I'm getting really deep into something, and then I get super hyper focused on the thing, and then I get kind of confused and a little lost in it. My environment starts to reflect that. So my mind is getting
that makes a lot of sense.
It's very cluttery, and then my environment gets cluttery, and then my emotions get cluttery,
And then it's hard to get back into it because.
And then I'm like, gotta step out, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
the first thing that I feel that I need to do, or that I'm going to do to get clear again, is tidy the space, reset the space, so that I can start over. It's like, okay, now go back into my mind and clear that up, make it like a mental list of like, what are the things that I get to do, what are the things that are top priority, and that will have the highest outcome, right? Which is, we reset our space essentially every Sunday. We clean it all up, we wash it all down, we organize all the things. And like, I'm pretty regular in the nightly. There are some nights where I'm like, there's toys or the schools or things or whatever.
We usually do a little tidying up.
Yeah.
So that in the morning it's
Fresh, unready.
Yeah.
So that you're not cleaning up the next previous day.
There's not 12 diapers and wipes sitting in the middle of the floor over yonder.
But it's like, I'm totally okay with that. Because there was a version of me that wasn't okay with that. There's a version of me that couldn't, or that would feel so anxious if there was any kind of mess. And I really had to clean it up. And now I've grown into being okay, like there's a mess and that's alright. There's nothing bad.
And I'm opposite, of course.
When you were
I'm
opposite,
opposite. Like, I would
make so many messes.
I would make a mess everywhere, and then just like my room at 16, you couldn't see the floor.
Yeah.
And I would or 19, I'd get back from work and fall asleep on my couch. That all my laundry and laundry basket,
Petting your cat.
laundry on the couch, and then a laundry basket on top of the couch, and then another laundry basket on top of that,
Yeah.
and then the floor is a mess, and the desk is a mess, and everything. And I would clean it every once in a while,
Yeah.
but then just fall asleep after getting back from work because I was so tired.
Yeah.
But now, I appreciate being very intentional with my space. It's I recognize that in myself too. If I'm gonna do some work, I like to have things tidied up. And that I feel like that's been true throughout my life.
It just looked different.
Yeah.
Your truck was clean. Your truck is always clean.
Yeah.
You make sure your truck is clean because for a lot of it, you were working out of your truck.
It's like my
So
office.
You wanted to create this space where you felt like you could have the optimal workflow.
Everything's organized. Everything has its place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your pouch, all of it.
Yeah. And then recently working down in the cities, I'm just grabbing a vice grip and throwing it in my bag. I cleaned it out the other day. It was a mess.
Yeah.
But it was like that for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So it comes and goes.
The other thing that allowing yourself to recognize that you create your life is very, very empowering. It removes any temptation or any blame that you are currently wielding against yourself or somebody else. Whether it was somebody spoke to me in this negative tone, it's well, they spoke to me in this harsh negative tone. Why did I call it into my life? Is there any part of me speaking harshly or negatively to myself? Or is there any part of me is there any part of me talking negatively or harshly to another person? Where is it in my life that I am using that behavior? And it allows me to pull it back and be like, thank you for showing me that, because you're reflecting me. And so now I get to go and look at where that is appearing in my life. And I get to alter that behavior, which is really powerful. Instead of being rather than looking at it and being like, that person was really negative to me, really harsh to me, and I don't want to be around them now, and I don't want them in my space, and it's probably because they perceive me like this, or they're going through this and they just want to spew it out. And that might be true.
But you also created it.
But you call that into your life to teach you something, and it's for you to learn from. And that's them. That's their responsibility. If I'm driving and Joe beside me or behind me is honking my horn and is getting upset.
Honking your horn?
Honking his horn. Honking his horn, getting upset with whatever I'm doing. I'm driving. I'm not responsible for Joe. I'm responsible for me. Am I going to react like Joe and get upset back with him and start honking and yelling at him? Or am I just going to keep going with my own thing? Keep driving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or, if someone's honking at you, assess the situation. And are they honking for a reason? Or are they just mad because I'm doing 65 and a 65?
Yeah. Did I miss the turning signal? What is it trying to say to me? And then also, if he's just out of nowhere starting to honk at me and yell at me, where in my life am I just blowing up for no reason? Or not no reason, but where am I just blowing up because I am at the wit's end of my emotions, and now I want to blow up on somebody.
Right. Which that like was so true for me when I was working in Houston and did not have hardly any control over my emotions, especially while driving. I would get major road rage. I'd be speeding everywhere. I remember distinctly having the thought that I am more important and what I'm going to do is more important than anybody else on this road. So I deserve to drive as fast as I want and cut anybody off and flick anybody off and whatever. And then that just accumulated and grew and grew and grew until the point where I had chilled out. I had kind of regulated myself with being on the highway. I had a stick shift, and so I would like zoom around a little bit, but it was a SUV, so it wasn't very fast. And then there was a situation where I was just slowing down for traffic. I had passed a couple people, cutting it up, very modestly, and then slowed down because there was traffic, and some young guy was blowing up, pointing his gun at me, screaming at me, acting like he was going to shoot at my car. And it was like, I handled it how I handled it. I dipped out of there as fast as I could. But now hearing that and reflecting on it, it's like, oh yeah, all of that bottled up anger that I had and frustration because of the choices that I was making that were self-sabotaging my work and my life and my friendships would come out when I was driving. And then I was shown who I was by somebody else. Wild.
Yeah, right. Curated it. In a higher degree, too.
Yeah.
Because in that situation, the dude had a gun. It's just like, you also had a gun at the time.
Yeah.
And that could have been you.
Yeah.
And he also could have been so close to literally pulling the trigger, which also means that you could have also had the same opportunity to get so close to blowing up and letting your emotions control you to pulling the trigger out of a peak of emotion.
Yeah.
Right? Like, to the X degree in a whole other realm. Right? But yeah, he's completely reflecting back to you.
Yeah.
Your emotions. And who you were. What you looked like being on the highway, losing your top.
Yeah.
Because some car was slowing down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow. Thank you, Sensei Phoebe.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to really embrace it.
Yeah.
And recognize yourself as a creator. And like, you create life. Like, biologically, we create life. We created a baby.
Yeah.
And often we reflect and be like, yeah, we created that. That's wild.
But that sexual energy that is creative energy impacts more than just making babies.
Oh, for sure.
Creative energy is in everything that you do, create, think of, plan.
Scenarios in your mind, the
Right.
thoughts that come in, the actions you do, the art that you make, the writing you do, like everything.
Yeah.
Environment, the relationships, like you're creating it. If we're having a discourse, and you're expressing one thing and I'm expressing the other thing, well, it's not all on James to figure it out.
And it's also not all on Phoebe to figure it out.
Like, we're in a relationship and we're creating the discourse simultaneously together. It's on both of us to figure it out.
Yeah.
If I'm in a friendship and I've been, either stepping back in my friendship or not really being as involved, and so is that other person who's still not being as involved. It's on both of us to come together. and strengthen that relationship. It's not one or the other, it's both. So you both have the decision. And honestly, where I learned that was I was reading the book Codependence No More back when I was 18, 19. And that really stuck with me. And I learned about narcissism. And I'm pretty, I don't really label a lot of people or a lot of things just because, like, if I'm going to label you a narcissist, I'm obviously being a narcissist somewhere in my life. And I'm actually probably being a narcissist by labeling you a narcissist.
Right.
You know, like it's
You're casting judgment.
I'm casting judgment, I'm casting blame, and whenever I'm labeling you, I'm actually just like, I'm just labeling a behavior within myself.
Right. Because I wouldn't be able to recognize it in you if I couldn't recognize it within myself first.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I can't identify negligence without having been negligent myself, right?
Negligent.
Negligent myself.
Yes, that is correct though.
What I was going into that was with like the friends. I probably kind of brought my train of thought with that, honestly. But narcissism. Yeah. I saw like this video once, and it was like, oh, how do you can identify narcissism? If they call you up and they say, hey, you haven't called me in a while. Hey, you haven't texted me in a while. Pause, because they also have the ability to text you. They also have the ability to contact you. It's a two-way street. So they're saying that you haven't done it, A, passing the blame, and B, saying that it's your fault, you know, like they're neglecting it as well. They're being a narcissist. Rather than reaching out and be like, hey, I haven't chatted with you in a while. I really miss our friendship. What's new and exciting in your life? I have stopped really asking how are you, and I've really started asking like personal questions that I know about the person, so that I can immediately connect with them. I ask you how your day was, and then you tell me about your day, and I'm like, well, what did you think about that? Did you have any interesting thoughts? Did you have any interesting feelings? Like, what was it really like for you today? And then you'll tell me about it, right? And then I can tell you about my day when you ask me, right? I feel like asking you how you are is so generic because everybody's going to say good.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've also moved away from you asking me how my day was and me just saying, oh, it was good. Or, oh, it was, I might say, if it wasn't such a good day, I'll say, oh, it was a day.
Yeah.
And then I'll get into it.
Yeah, this is what happened.
Or, I had a great day. I got to do this and I got to do this.
Yeah.
But it's also like, whether you did something that you really liked doing or you did something that sucked to do, you still create the perception of whether it was a good day or a bad day. The day didn't create itself. You created the day.
Yeah.
Because of your perception of the day.
Yeah. So if you had a bad day, you created the bad day, and you also labeled it and perceived it as a bad day, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like that is okay.
Yes.
Like that is totally welcomed.
Right.
I mean, I welcome it. I enjoy when I have bad days, and I enjoy when I have good days because it's just the ebb and flow of life.
Yeah. Pain is just a feeling.
It's just a feeling. So is happiness. Like it's just a feeling.
Pleasure is just a feeling.
It's just a neurological.
As Rob says, fear is in the car, but I'm driving.
Yeah.
Anger is in the car.
Anxiety. I'm in charge. I was saying that today when I was running.
Oh,
I'm in charge. I'm in charge. You don't get to tell me to stop. I'm in charge. And I was just running, and I was like, I'm in charge.
I think I was saying like some pretty similar stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
My mind's not going to tell me to stop. Not going to tell me to stop because I'm in charge of the mind.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep running until I reach that end of the road. Or that end of the door.
Oh, I think I was like, I think I said, they don't know me, son. Because I was hearing it, and then I thought about it for a second. I'm like, who are they? Then I said it to myself, I was like, you don't know me, son.
Yeah.
You have no idea who I am.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, who is talking?
Other version of you, you're creating.
Yeah. Yordi.
Yeah.
Yordi's talking. Yordi's a savage.
Yeah, I know. Actually, it's just Phoebe DeShane. That's what I labeled her.
Really?
Yeah, just Phoebe DeShane. You don't know Phoebe DeShane. You know Phoebe. Phoebe's kind. She's welcoming. She's joyous.
What
She's
about Phoebe
outgoing.
Yordi?
Oh, she's a savage too. She's in development.
Processing.
Literally still loading. Because, like, I think that is who I am now. You know, and I've over this past year, it's really like, yeah, nobody really knows me anymore. Because I am Phoebe Yordi now. And Phoebe DeShane is like that lady who's just a savage who can get through so much stuff. You can do so many things. Then she comes out. But Phoebe is like, you know, your typical extrovert, hanging out, playing, you know, always joshing around, hitting on my shawties, hitting on my palm slice, you know, small one that's out there, hang with my siblings. But like Phoebe Yordi, from what I've known her, she's really thoughtful and responsible and recognizes her own power and her own worth. And I like when I'm in somebody's court, I'm in somebody's court. You know, when you're down in the dumps, and you're like, I just can't do it, or I just can't get out of bed today. I'm there, and I'm like, get out of bed. You got this.
Or better yet, you'll come and like
kick you out of bed.
No. You do it in such a loving way that you'll like come up to my ear with peanut butter bread.
Look, come hang out with me.
Just hold me.
Love and attention, please.
Or I don't know, whatever. But no, it's good. I was thinking about that though. Like I remember playing football in middle school. And all my coaches would call me Yordi. Basketball coach, football coach, soccer coach, they'd all call me Yordi. It's just easier to say. And all my teammates would call me Yordi. And so then I remember like I was doing track training. We were running miles, like 1 mile. And there were some dudes on the side of the track playing soccer with each other, just kicking the ball around. And one of the dudes just kicked it like right towards the field. I don't know if it was intentional or that just somebody missed catching the ball, but it flew at like 50 miles an hour right onto my head. And I shook it off and kept running. Yeah. I didn't even miss a step. Yeah. I'm like, that's Yordi.
That guy, he's coming up.
Yeah.
You're gonna make him stronger.
Yeah.
Him.
I was like, oh, sorry.
My bad.
Sorry I got in your way.
Hope your ball's okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but you get, that's cool because you get to create that version of you.
Yeah.
And I get to create this version of me.
We get to create this version of our relationship.
That's a huge truth. And I'm really glad to be living by that truth.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoy giving myself the power and deciding that I am a creative my life.
Yeah.
And that I get to make those choices.